Riot podcast time, everybody.
Dun, da, da, da. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally the podcast is here. Hopefully we will not disappoint. I know, you just did something you say. You're getting what you get, okay? It's all right. You're just going to have to enjoy it.
So, hey, in the podcast today, actually a lot of movie stuff. And I know we talk movies, but today it's a lot. Like, we talk The Matrix, we talk Spiderman, we talk some movie prop auctions that are happening. We also get into some pizza.
Really branching out, aren't we? Really branching out.
We're covering the important stuff.
Yeah.
Shark attacks.
All the basic stuff.
That's in there. And I'm selling movies.
More movies.
Okay, I had a guy... Okay, I've been trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I have from 2008, the Blade Runner 5-disc Blu-ray set. Keep in mind, I have it on 4K now, so I'm like, I don't need it. It's fine.
You're selling your what is now the extra copy.
Right. So it retails on eBay for about $30. I'm selling it for, I think, $20.
Yeah.
This guy's like willing to go so far out of his way to come and get it and pay me $20 cash for this thing that I'm just like...
Is it a trap?
No, I just keep asking myself, like, all right, wait a minute. It has to be worth more, right?
No.
I mean, it's out of print, so that's part of it. He can hand it, he can just pick it up. I'm sure that's appealing.
But if you're looking at it on eBay and, you're seeing other people sell it, especially, has it actually sold or does it have bids?
No, it's just listed.
So it doesn't even have bids on eBay? Then I think you're fine. But what's the phrase? Another man's... Trash is another man's treasure. So
I'm just afraid.
He's just dying for Blade Runner.
You know that scene in Toy Story 2 where the guy finds Woody and tries to act like he's not worth that much? I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this worth something?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. Though there have been, it's rare, but there have been a couple of times, with video games, that I've had something that's sat on the shelf forever. I've gone to sell it, and I've been like, what the heck?
You had no idea. And we're not talking it's worth millions, but
no.
It's just worth a little bit more than you think.
I'm getting 20 when I should be getting 60. And that was the same. I had, what game was that? I got $150 out of it because it was so rare. And I was just like, it was Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes on GameCube. That's what it was.
That was the
game? I got big bucks out of that game. Anyway, you never know. You might have treasure at home.
Not a lot of treasure.
You don't.
It's not like we're those articles of I found the #1 issue behind the wall. It's not that. It's just, do we get 20 or 30 extra dollars out of it? That's our treasures today.
Which we're then going to go waste on more movies probably.
Correct. Well, you mean investing it back in the market.
The Blu-ray economy, Nikki. The Blu-ray economy.
It's shaky.
Well, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the podcast today.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Spiderman, Nikki.
Ooh, it was everywhere yesterday.
Here's what's pathetic. There are real news events
stories?
in the world that matter. And last night, I was at home, and I opened up my tablet for something. I got a Google News alert that this thing between Marvel and Disney and Sony and about Spider-Man, and I said out loud, "Are you kidding me?
This is big stuff."
And so, it's ridiculous that this comic book movie thing is the only thing my tablet made sure I knew about. 1, and 2, I had a real visceral reaction to it.
Well, it assumed that you would want to know all the details about it, and it was probably right. I mean, you do want to know.
So Deadline reported yesterday, it's gotten picked up, and it's pretty much everywhere, that, Sony and Marvel... Do we give you the whole backstory? Here's where it comes down to. Back in the day, late 90s, Marvel was trying to get any kind of a movie made that they possibly could. So they started licensing their characters out. That's why 20th Century Fox had X-Men and Fantastic Four, and Sony had Spider-Man. And so that worked great for them until, it was 2007. They decided they wanted to try to do their own thing, and they made Iron Man and I think Hulk that summer or whatever. So there's that. But pre that, they were working with other studios to get it done. Well, those licensing deals still exist. So Sony has had the rights to Spider-Man for a long time, and they, as I understand it, pretty much have the rights to Spider-Man in perpetuity as long as they make a Spider-Man movie so often.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons the Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2, a lot of people were referring to those as Spider-Man, the contractual obligation, because it was like they had to make something.
Otherwise, they would lose out on it.
So they then went back to the table, made a deal with Sony, and Sony and Marvel did. So we got Marvel Spider-Man back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Everybody actually, I feel like, started to like Spider-Man more again because it was with all the other characters from Marvel. Everybody was super excited. Felt like a good partnership.
Now, this is according to Deadline, the rumor that's supporting now Disney, Marvel, Sony. No one has confirmed this. But apparently on the last 2 Spider-Man movies, Disney basically got 5% of that, and they
that's
helped
not good
produce, right? All that stuff, right? They got Iron Man to be in Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. So now, apparently, Disney's like, 50%. And Sony's like, see ya.
Now, Sony's backing up a little bit. At least that's what, later last night. They're like, well, no one really knows yet.
Well, that's the thing. It was reported.
Backtracking.
It was reported as fact, but no one's willing to go on record confirming whether or not that's true. So the headlines are way stronger than the actual news story is because we don't know yet.
Well, it could have been a ploy to get people's opinions on it, to get people pushing.
I feel like this was something that Disney was like, beep, boop, boop, Deadline. Sony's screwing us. Print the story.
Let's talk about it.
That's what it feels like to me.
It does.
Because I did not know this, but Tom Holland, the guy that currently plays Spider-Man, he has 2 more Spider-Man movies left in his contract. So Sony could theoretically go off and make 2 more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. It just wouldn't involve any single character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And they had already kind of built some of that up, and that's what people have really been enjoying about Spider-Man.
It's been it's a thing.
Then for Sony, Spider-Man would go back to being, pre-MCU.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. Marvel Cinematic Universe. They'd be pre that and go back to being boring.
Gosh, what are you doing?
So we'll see how that all pans out, but that was everywhere yesterday.
So many things in the world are broken, and there's one thing that's working, and you're like, we should break it.
This really hit people hard yesterday.
Well,
I'm surprised about that, but it is what it is.
Nikki, you have heartstrings, and people start yanking on them.
You didn't realize people were so invested in the combination of the two.
It's important.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
What is going on out there, okay? Spider-Man, which was fixed, is maybe unfixed. And now they want to make another Matrix movie.
I know.
What are they doing?
Listen, they're just trying to grab onto Keanu Reeves for anything.
Keanu Sans is real. And they're like, let's do it.
I want to just pull him aside and be like, all right, the John Wick stuff that brought you back, let's just keep going. But now he's doing the Bill and Ted's, how do you say that movie?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure 3.
And then brought back now the next Matrix one.
Right.
And I feel like he's got to stop just saying okay to movies he was once a part of.
I don't know. I mean, the Bill and Ted thing, I get it. I felt
like that would have been the last one he should do.
I feel like he's doing that for Alex Winter, his co-host, who has not been famous, and he's
the fans. I guess fans of that stuff.
It's just for his co-host. He's like, I'm gonna throw you a bone on this, okay? For his co-host, his co-star, right? And the Matrix thing again. I don't know. Nikki, you put enough zeros after a 1.
Anybody will say yes?
Everything starts to look pretty good.
I would have thought they should have started talking about actually remaking it.
No, they
not just having a 4th one.
That's the thing I kept seeing in the news is like they're going to do a Matrix remake, which is, I can't decide what's worse, the sequel or the remake. And I think the remake is a worse idea.
Really? You think so?
Oh, yeah. Just don't. Look, half of what made the Matrix work when it started was the twist and kind of the way it played out in that. And no. We already know what's going on.
It's too hard to put a surprise back in and then make it worth going to see it.
Just stop right now. Just stop. So, I don't know. I would rather see a 4th one than a remake of the first, but
I guess we'll see.
I guess that's just me.
So Warner Brothers said that it was only just set in the world of The Matrix. So they're not going to,
Oh, so they haven't actually. So, okay.
If we get what that means, that just means they don't know yet. And who knows where it'll actually fall in the world of The Matrix.
So what we're saying is that it is a reboot.
It could be. Could be maybe he's the old one, or
Exactly.
maybe ushering in the new one.
He's going to be the Morpheus, like the Lawrence Fishburne character.
Could be.
For a newer, younger, the one.
Keanu Reeves would return. Carrie Ann Moss, who was the one who was Trinity, would also return.
Yep. So she was just in Daredevil.
She was? The TV show?
Yep. She was.
For Netflix?
Yes.
That's no longer around?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one.
That doesn't make her the kiss of death.
No, it doesn't. I'm just trying to make sure we know which where. And she's free, so she's got time.
Available.
So the Matrix franchise looks like has made more than $1.6 billion worldwide.
It's a lot of money, Nikki.
It is.
And in this time, in these Keanu times,
they just want to put him in anywhere.
It's very hard to leave Keanu money on the Keanu table. So, and by the way, we're talking about your money.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
Earlier this week, as I recall, Nikki, you were lamenting your lack of lobster.
Yeah, or crab, just something along those lines.
Just some bottom feeder you can feed on.
Pretty much that I can dip in butter. Just really, really, really want to have that.
Well, Nikki, I may have found a place where you can finally get that lobster that you were looking for without having to go to Red Lobster.
Where should I go?
There's a restaurant. This is in Brooklyn. It's called BK Lobster. Burger King lobster?
Is
No,
that
it's
real?
not.
I was going to say, please tell me that is not where Burger King is going. I just can't.
I do love the idea.
It's like, no, they are not doing that.
BK Lobster has put together a 24-karat gold. They call it a golden lobster roll.
Well, I'm looking at pictures at it. It looks like you didn't open it up, like it was wrapped up in foil, and you forgot to open it and you're eating it.
But you eat the foil. It's an edible gold foil.
And it's $100 if you want the lobster roll.
It consists of 3 tails wrapped in edible 24-karat gold leaf.
I wonder if you could just ask for...
and look at that. You'll get a glass of wine that has 23-karat gold flakes in it.
I wonder if you could just ask for, the lobster roll without the gold, and then I'll just take a cup of water.
Well,
How much would that cost me?
I am sure that they have some kind of a non-gold lobster.
They say if you don't want that, you can order a regular old lobster roll for $18.
Well, there you go. What do you think?
That's pretty good.
$18 for lobster roll?
Actually, well, that's interesting. It says, according to the article, all the toppings and the spreads at the restaurant, including mayo and bacon, are actually vegan. But yet, is the lobster... What's with the lobster?
I'm going to put this vegan thing on the meat.
I think it contradicts the lobster itself, but I don't know. I mean, whatever is fine.
Well, what did you say? A pescatarian?
A pescatarian?
Episcopalian.
A pescatarian.
A pescatarian.
Yeah, is where you'll still have seafood.
You'll eat the animals in the sea don't
And gold.
deserve the love.
A golditarian. If you eat gold flakes.
Sincerely, why would you want to eat gold? Is it just to prove that you can?
It's a gimmick. It's for the picture.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. What was I thinking?
This is totally for the experience.
What do I think? Of course it is. Of course it's for the photo. And $100 is nothing for a good Instagram photo.
You could totally pay for that.
And yeah, #ad. I'm looking for sponsors right now.
There's other types of, golden covered foods that have been out before, but it's edible. You can have it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it'll cost you $100.
But it's fine.
Meaning, there's nothing wrong with you physically. If you have it, you're not going to have any problems.
There is, but it's fine.
Okay, well, besides you're missing $100 then.
I'll tell you what. Give me $100. I'll help you out.
I appreciate you telling me about this. This is not what I was really wanting with my craving of lobster or crab legs recently.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep looking. But that's a place to just remember next time we're in Brooklyn.
You know what I found out is there's I don't know which night it is, but Nikki and I could go down to the casino.
I don't want to go to the casino.
I'll bet they got some gold wrap stuff down there.
No, they're supposed to have like crab legs and things.
There
but
you go.
I like to eat in a quiet location and
No, Nikki.
between.
That's not.
If you've ever been to casinos, they're really trying to drive your senses mad.
Yeah.
To get you to just go crazy.
Lose your mind.
Yeah, to like just be like, "Wow, I'm having a great girls' night." You know, that's like that sort of thing. Like loud carpet. Don't look down.
Instead, Nikki wants to sit alone in the corner eating
I
crab
want
legs.
A quiet night out, and I don't think I can get that there.
That sounds like someone that has a real problem. Where's Nikki? She's over there in the dark.
No, I don't want to be by myself.
Take
People
her a new plate of crab legs every 5 minutes.
and get the butter.
Yeah.
No, I just want a quiet experience, but still with lots of friends.
Doesn't crab legs, don't they make a lot of noise when you crack them?
Yeah, but it's not a slot machine noise, so.
Okay, that's fair.
It's different. There's no ringing.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Boy, people, like you guys on the internet are so nice. You're just great people.
I don't know if you mean what you're saying.
Now, why would you say that?
Now, most people
Why would you
but
say that?
the loudest people make the most noise and are most noticeable, and that's why we feel that way.
Okay. So I posted last night. I decided to sell some Blu-rays.
Are you?
Yeah, I sold some.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and
Great.
I've actually sold a few online, which is great. So here's what I think is amazing is the number of people that keep being like, oh, you stole the digital copy out of these and now you're reselling them. I mean, I've gotten hit by so many people on the marketplace that are just, and I'm like, okay,
So
guys.
they're not like your friends, they're just people looking to buy?
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. Like, you just stole the digital copy. I'm like, yeah, that's what I did. I bought these movies 8 years ago, stole the digital
copies.
copy, have sat here waiting until just the right time to rip you off, and this was the magic moment.
But I think people who, I mean, if you're buying a used Blu-ray or, DVD or a 4K disc, like people assume and know the digital copy is not going to still be
Pretty
in
much
there.
Gone.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people, I see this, most of the stuff you see on eBay is people buy it, they take the digital copy, then they sell the disc, which actually isn't all bad because a lot of people who want a disc don't even care about a digital copy.
But there's also plenty of places where you can just for cheap go buy the digital copy.
And if you can find a family video, you can go in. They literally have big notebooks
of the papers.
full of the papers, and they will sell them to you for, and I picked up Doctor Strange for $1.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them are that cheap, but it's like,
So
whatever.
I thought we all kind of knew that's how that went.
I thought so too.
But maybe not.
I just love these like accusing whatever. Here's what's even sadder. Here's the really, truly sad part about it is, no, I'm not ripping you off because I kept the digital copy. I'm selling these because I was dumb enough to buy all of them again in 4K.
So there you go.
I'm dumber than you're giving me credit for. I'm actually stupid.
Are you putting that in the description for the items you're selling?
I should.
Yeah, just so that they stop bothering you about
I should.
it.
It's like, just to let you know there's no digital copy. No, wait, it's worse than you think.
Facebook Marketplace had a few months of just glory where you would go try to sell something. You didn't get hit by spam. You didn't get hit by mean people, where with Craigslist, they would hit you hard to try to get you to come down.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
They would almost bully you in the beginning to try to get you to lower your price. Facebook Marketplace now is just like Craigslist. You get all that,
ridiculous.
and you get people that really, they're just trying to come at you, so then you'll sell it to them for like a quarter.
What am I going to say? Like, you know what? You're right. Just take what you want. Just whatever you want.
It's a horrible approach to trying to buy something, but that's what a lot of people will try to do.
And to be clear, don't you think $5 is fair?
That's a very common price for Blu-rays.
For a
yes.
Blu-ray. Like, here's my used Blu-ray, $5.
Yes,
that to
absolutely.
me seems like super, yeah.
And I
$5.
know your movies, they're not going to be too...
They're very well cared for.
Yeah, you take
In
care
fact,
of them.
I take better care of those than I do, myself. So, it's fine.
Sad but true.
It's
okay,
fine.
it's fine.
It's fine.
I just know you always take care of them.
I do.
They're in great condition.
Yeah.
So $5 is even a lower price than probably what you could have got.
Yeah. And again, it's all part of my grand scheme to rip people off.
I knew you were doing that, and now you're finally admitting it.
Yep.
So if you are a stranger who's looking at Obi's Blu-ray and DVD collection online to buy some potentially, don't come at him like that.
Could you just be nice? Would it kill us to be nice
To each other?
Can we just be nice?
Or if you don't have anything nice to say, don't message him at all.
I mean, if you think that $5 is too much, just move on. Just move on.
They want it. They just don't want to pay that price.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
There are 2 guarantees at Little Caesars, okay? There's just 2.
Anybody want to guess what they are?
The first one is that it's hot, and the second one is that it's ready, okay? Nobody said, is it good?
No one said that. No one
you know
did.
what? They didn't even say it was pizza.
You got to read the fine lines.
You have to start thinking like a lawyer when you walk in there. It's hot and ready. What is it? It's hot and ready.
That's all we're guaranteeing.
No, it's hot and it's ready. That's all.
Do you want some or not?
What? Like, do you want some hot and ready or not? So they are introducing a little something new at Little Caesars, the 4x4.
It's called the Quattro.
The Quattro. Why is it that we want to make something not sound stupid? We're like, well, what is it in another language? It's fine. So the Quattro has, wait for it, 4 quadrants.
Yeah, they basically have the pizza consist of like one's a pepperoni, one's an Italian sausage and bruschetta. The third is an Italian sausage and pepperoni, and then there's just a cheese one.
The Quattro is only available from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
That's the Quattro hours.
And it is part of their hot and ready line.
But there's no changing it. You can't be like, well, can I have 2 in the
No
Quattro and then this?
customizations.
It's just, it is what it is.
You know what? I'll just be honest. I want one.
You do?
But the hot and ready is $5. This is a $7 pizza.
It's a premium pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
feel like
so
with,
premium.
I feel like with Little Caesars, I fall for their, it looks good in their advertisements.
Oh, it looks great.
And then when you go, it doesn't always match up with that.
I agree with that, too.
I'm looking at you. What was that pretzel crust pizza?
Oh,
right
well,
at you.
I could have told you. I mean, I couldn't have spoken authoritatively, and
But
yet
you
at the
could've
same
told me.
time, I could have told you.
So that's what they're offering.
You know what? I had a Little Caesars pizza like a week ago. One of my roommates was like, hey, I'm going to go to Little Caesars. You want one? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Here's $5. Get me one, too. And when you're sitting there eating, it's like, it's just one of those things where it's so cheap and it's so easy that you're like, you know what? I'm an American that doesn't care. Just shove it in my mouth.
Yeah, but
I'm good.
Can we all raise our hands? Like, who's been sick with a Little Caesars pizza?
I'm always sick anyway.
So, I mean, both of our hands went raised. So the Quattro will be a limited time, but they're also supposedly secret,
Oh, here it comes.
maybe testing a Quattro crust, which will have, instead of toppings, 4 different crusts around. So there'll be a cheddar and jalapeno, a cheddar and bacon, an Asiago and Parmesan, and a Parmesan breadcrumb crust. So the pizza itself would be one pizza, but the crust would be 4 different ones. So that might be coming later.
That sounds like the problem we're having in America right now. Everybody's like, we're one pizza, but we got too many foundations.
Too many different ones.
When we need to share a foundation, but be different toppings.
So that's what they're pushing right now.
You know what? Whatever.
Why not?
I'm kind of interested in one, though. I'll have to tell you when I got in there, they were like, do you want this for $7? I'd be like, I'll take the $5. Then again, I have been, the last time I went, I actually said I spent $5, I spent $6 because I got their most bestest pizza.
Did you?
Which is an extra $1.
What about the breadsticks? I like breadsticks anywhere. It's hard to do breadsticks wrong.
No.
It's just bread in a stick form.
And Nikki, to be clear, they don't call them breadsticks.
What?
It's called crazy bread.
It's not.
Because it's not technically a stick. And it only loosely resembles bread.
They just want to make sure they're not open for any lawsuits for anyone who comes in and notices that it's wrong.
Why do you guys spell pizza with 3 Z's? No reason.
No reason at all.
Listen,
our lawyers said so.
Shut up. It's hot and it's ready, right? Eat it. Eat it.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So how do you guys feel about Starbucks coffee? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What about Starbucks when you get it at Target? I mean, it's fine. I'm not saying I don't do it, but I just have to tell you that the idea of paying $5 for a cup of coffee is hard when for $1.99 I can get the Target meal deal, which is popcorn and a soda.
Is it hard?
For $1.99.
I know, but it's different.
And the thing is, I can eat that popcorn and drink that soda and just wander around the store. And then, you come back. It's amazing.
It's wonderful. Don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like...
I already want you to know I'm going to take it the wrong way.
I used to feel like if I would go to like any of the Starbucks that are in the grocery stores or Targets and stuff, that it wasn't quite the same as a standalone store, and maybe they didn't take it as seriously. Which some people agree or disagree with, but... It's just that's all how some people feel. So they don't tend to always go into those.
I've seen both.
You've seen both?
I have. I have been to like an in-store Starbucks where the people cared, and then I've been to more where they were just like I don't know. This is better than working in the produce aisle.
So we're working here.
So whatever. So there was a man that he rolled into the Manheim Township Target in Pennsylvania. And he made his way back to the Starbucks that was in there. And he decided to go ahead and improve the Starbucks.
How did he improve it, you ask?
With his own personal rinse. He manufactured it himself and then hosed the place down.
So it was 9:45 on Saturday night. He was in a red T-shirt and shorts. He was captured on camera, and so that's why they're sharing it to help identify the guy. So if you know who he is, he basically walked into the Starbucks concession area in the Target, peed on all the cups, the coffee filters, and then in a sink that they had out. And now they need your help finding him.
Here's what gets me. This guy's having a problem with urinary incontinence because the photo of him walking... Is he walking in or out?
He's walking out of the Target.
Okay. He's wearing some khaki pants that have a very distinctive stain in a very distinct location.
Pants, yes.
Yeah.
So, again, if you know who this person is, they want you to tell on him because that's what he did.
Well, it's kind of impressive when you think about it. I mean, like, he managed to pee his pants and still have enough left over to hose down half the Starbucks.
Apparently. So despite several tips, as of yesterday night, they have no positive identification of him yet, but they're still working on it.
Oh, he's done. People know who this guy is because they just straight up have his photo.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like the woman the woman that peed all over the fruit in Walmart. Remember her?
No, the potatoes.
Oh, the potatoes.
I mean, there might have been a fruit person, too.
But
she turned herself in because she knew.
Because everybody knew her.
They had a great picture of her. Like, the camera had a great shot. It was just a matter of time before they'd figure out who you are.
Well, that's exactly what's happening here. They've got a great picture of this guy. They're going to find him. They will. Strangely enough, Starbucks didn't even notice till halfway through the next day because...
No, they did not. They didn't say that.
That's exactly what their coffee tastes.
That is not what they said. I think they noticed right away what this guy was doing.
We don't understand why, but the coffee's actually a little bit better today.
What's this about? But this was more like the section that they have kind of outside of where the employees are making it, where you can get the cups and extra lids and straws and stuff, that sort of the stir stick things. Yeah. That's where it was happening.
It's fine.
Don't always want to have to say this, everybody, but could we not pee?
In public?
In public?
Okay.
Is that too hard to ask, please?
You know where it goes in the potty.
Let's just keep it into the bathroom and... That'll be good.
You know, Nikki, maybe some people just need help. Like, they just need to be told. Like, maybe he's gone his whole life and nobody told him, please don't pee on our coffee cups.
Well, and now he's going to have to ask for forgiveness, but he knows better for next time.
And they should put a sign up, really.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Just Another Day with Jodie Foster and the
It's
late
an
90s
old movie.
Panic Room.
It is the Riot. Why do you always bring up old movie references?
That's where I live my life.
Every time he hears that song, that's what he thinks. He thinks
let's find
Panic
out.
Room.
Like, when did that... Okay, Panic Room, that's why. That's why. This explains everything. Everything is explained.
Why?
Because Panic Room came out in 2002, and it's starring Jodie Foster. Why would I watch some movie that was... no, there's so many things about that movie. Like, why would I care? Why would I whatever? It was directed by David Fincher.
Did you go through
That's why
a time where you watched all of his stuff?
I was watching David Fincher movies. Panic Room was a David Fincher movie. That's why I've seen it.
Does it make you feel better that that's why?
Yeah. I mean, you know who David Fincher is, right?
What else has he done?
What's in the box?
Oh, 7? Oh. Anything else?
Alien 3.
Oh.
And I'll bet that's where it came from. I got the Alien box set on Blu-ray that had all the Alien movies in it. Alien 3 was a David Fincher movie.
You're
and then
probably
I was
watching
like,
commentary or something.
all of a sudden, and I've seen, holy crap, I've seen all this guy's stuff. The Social Network, though I guess not. I didn't see Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I didn't watch the American one, and Gone Girl. I didn't see that either. But Fight Club 7, Alien 3, The Social Network, all that stuff. So that's how
you
I
watched
saw
Panic
that
Room.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense now because I have not been able to figure out why in the heck would I watch that.
It's because every time the song plays, he thinks about it.
Yes,
he
I
really, really does.
I can't. I mean, they share a name.
Yeah, I know. But it's an old movie, so you don't
Nikki,
have to think about it anymore.
Nikki, I just want you to know.
You're free from that.
Are you? It's my turn to talk.
Yeah.
I have the conversation stick.
Okay.
Every time I meet somebody named Nikki,
You think of me.
I immediately think of you.
Well, yeah, but you see me every day. This is some old movie that you watched probably one time.
That's right. But Nikki, movies are the most important thing.
They really...
They're the most important thing.
They impact you. They stamp on you.
I
You remember it.
Just about everything.
Yes,
when
you
it
do.
comes to movies. It is the dumbest thing in my life, probably. And so seeing a movie one time, that's all it took.
And now you'll still always think about that movie every time we play Disciple.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
I actually don't remember that much about the movie, except that it was like she got this house and then they ran in the panic room, but then they were like setting the house on fire as a way to get them out of the panic room because there was a bunch of money in the panic room.
Didn't have the Twilight person too, the girl?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because she needed her shots, remember?
Oh, so you've seen it too?
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think about it every time. Didn't she need shots? And
Sure,
she was in
whatever.
the panic room and they had to get out to get them
To
again?
get the shots?
Yeah, to get them back in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so
So I guess I don't remember everything.
I don't think you remember all of it.
I just remember the title every time.
Time that we play this song.
song.
We'll get used to it as we play it more and more.
Yeah, it's only a buzz track. It's got a long time left.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Who else? And, let's just get a couple of hands excited about another James Bond movie. Another one.
Now, don't take the silence on our end as not excitement. I just feel like it's been a while.
It
and
has been a while.
It's not as exciting as it used to when it does happen.
Spectre was terrible. It was.
I also feel like the guy playing James Bond truly doesn't want to be playing James Bond. So I feel like they need to get a new one, and they were supposed to for this, but Daniel Craig had one last Bond movie, which will come out, I think, this November.
It's not, Nikki,
then they'll get a new one.
It's not that he had one last Bond movie. It's that they had $1 billion, and they were like, here, Daniel, how do you feel about $50 million? Or
But Daniel
like
Craig,
that.
in between Bond movies, would always go out of his way to say, I never want to do it again.
Yep.
He got injured a lot, and not just
He got injured on this one.
not just superficial injuries. Like, we're talking really, really, really bad injuries, and that I just felt like I don't want him to do it either.
I went back and watched Spectre a couple months ago because that's the last one. They came out in 2015. And watching it, it's like, man, this is not a good movie. Like, this
The
is not
first
good.
one he did was pretty good.
Casino Royale's fantastic. So is, I I know
Fantastic. It's a strong word.
No. I stand by that. I do. And the third one he made was very good. Skyfall. So good. That's one of the top grossing films in Britain still.
Skyfall is?
Yes. It may be the top grossing film in British history because everybody there loves James Bond. He's British, whatever. But Spectre was just the follow-up, and it just, oh.
The follow-up was a fall down.
So all of this to say, they have announced the title of the new James Bond film, and it is No Time to Die.
And then that's it.
That's it for him.
That's it for him.
They're going to be making James Bond movies forever.
What was the story where it was going around? Because this movie's had a lot of shuffles. It's
Tons.
Including, like, I think the director and writers and stuff. Because originally there was supposed to be some guy who was involved who wanted to kill off James Bond and then start over again.
It was the train spotting guy, Danny
guy?
Boyle.
Yeah.
Danny Boyle had written a script, was going to direct it. And there was some huge blow up, and it seems to be that he wanted to kill Bond, and
he felt like it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And then give it a couple of years, and then a new Bond comes out.
And they were like, nope, we're not doing that. And so he left, and now Cary Fukunaga, who directed It, is going to be directing
the movie It.
Yes, sorry.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. And it was written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't actually know who that is, but Cary Fukunaga is going to be directing, and I think isn't it supposed to be out this fall?
No, I think it's November.
Yeah, so that's
could
crazy.
Be changed. They had a lot of filming issues.
They were filming in April, and so it's going to be ready in 2 months. That's kind of amazing to me, but that's the word. And they say, okay. Like, is he really going to die in this movie? Probably not.
There's no time to die.
Well, that's the thing is they say no time to die is basically their loud and screaming message
that he's not going to die in the movie.
You're not going to kill James Bond.
So that's James Bond's final, for Daniel Craig, his final turn as James Bond now has a title.
Yep, there it is. No time to die. So that's all I got.
And then we'll see who comes up as the next one.
It's probably going to be me.
Well, better prepare yourself.
What a stupid joke to make. We know it's not going to be me.
You have a chance.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
You know, we got to talk about relationships. Relationships in your life are so incredibly important. And it's the thing that's hard to know, I think, sometimes is when do you stay and just get used to the difficult things that, you know, you're going to have difficult things in any relationship, or is it like, no, I really need to start a new one? And that's where I'm at with Chrome right now.
You just don't know what to do.
My relationship with my web browser, listen, I spend more time with my web browser than anyone I know. Okay? So let's not act like the choice that you make when it comes to your browser is not important. It's important.
We used to use Firefox a long time ago. And then Chrome just became a way to, have it on all of your devices in an easier way. And I mean, you're really integrated into the Google sphere.
Ecosystem, man.
So I'm surprised you would even think of changing.
I know.
Is it because of security risks or what?
No, I already assume at this point I've been in contact with Google about how I could just put cameras in every room so they can never lose sight of me.
Well, then what are you unhappy about with Chrome?
Nikki, I don't care about my privacy. I don't care about my money. But I'm going to tell you about something I care about.
What do you care about?
I care about RAM.
Oh, really? And it's a hog?
Chrome is a RAM hog.
It is. It's a pig.
I'll just tell you right now. And, you know, you only have so much. You only have so much bandwidth in your life. And so along comes Chrome, and I'm just like, what more do you want from me?
So basically, if you're not tracking, it just really monopolizes your laptop or your desktop computer and takes a lot of stuff to run it and just to have it on there. But I don't know if there's any other alternative that's going to take less up.
Well, this is something I'm wondering about. So Microsoft, wait, hear me out. Everybody was like, shut up, I'm gone.
I don't want to hear that language here.
Hear me out. So Microsoft, they can't get any traction with nothing these days on the internet side. So here's what they've got. They announced earlier last year, they're like, hey, we're building a new web browser. It's based on Chrome. So, like, there's Chrome under the hood, but we're basically going to use some of the Chrome tech, but we're going to help you protect your privacy. In other words, Microsoft steals your information instead of
they just don't
Google.
need as much because no one's paying them for that.
But they just took their Chromium Edge browser. It is now in beta, so you can use it if you want.
First off, to me, that sounds like a vitamin. Like
Chromium Edge?
Chromium Edge.
Yeah.
With just the E.
And Nikki, it's specifically designed for women.
It is.
So that you can get the extra calcium you need to present osteoporosis
I feel
in 50
like they're
years.
presenting that one to men, and it's like, oh, do you need an edge up on life? Then how about Chromium Edge?
They show, and
Or it's
they're
like,
advertising it with like pictures of athletes, and you're like, my knees don't work.
It's like a protein drink or something. It's like a Gatorade.
It's your pre-workout.
It's your pre-workout.
Bro,
so it gives
I'm
you
hitting
the
gym.
edge.
I started drinking my Chromium Edge about 25 minutes before I hit the gym.
So I'm not up on the name, but
then
outside
I throw
of that,
up and I work out.
what else might it be offering to us besides the security?
Okay.
Would it take less RAM?
Let me tell you, here's what it says. We're going to beta today since our browser bits are now hitting the criteria expecting. Our data says the browser is reliable, compatible, is good on battery life, and is very fast. Mm-hmm. So that's what they say is wonderful about it.
Okay, but is it worth switching?
I don't know. It
Surprised.
says, here's what they're saying is it feels as zippy as Chrome, and you ain't used Chrome on my computer.
But maybe with your new computer, it'll fix it, and then you don't
Maybe
need
it will.
to change.
I only have 4 gig of RAM on my laptop, and Chrome is just like, that's delicious.
Did you see what someone texted?
What?
It's just basically a big blob-looking comic, and it's got the Chrome logo, and then it's got RAM, which is a little person in front, and it just slowly eats it.
It's
It's like, that's how it is.
spot on, Andrew. Spot on. So remember what I said, guys. Take a good look at the relationships in your life and evaluate them. You know, do you stay or do you go?
Is it okay? Or can you, if you're staying, do you change the relationship up a little bit?
I'll tell you what.
Like your new laptop.
I'm going to get my journal. I'm headed into the woods today, and I'm just going to write about it and just explore my feelings about my web browser. And again, don't you mock me. Think about how much time you spend using it.
Andrew texted, he said, dude, I spend so much time in my browser. I'm a web developer, and I'm in Chrome at least 8 hours a day.
See? You know what you need to do?
Well, what are you guys going to do with this?
I'm telling you right now, you should put more thought into your browser than your car. You use it more?
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Dr. Neil Stanley. He's from the UK. And even though he has bad teeth, we could all learn a little something
I
from
bet
him.
his teeth are fine.
Are they?
You're not looking at a picture. You're just saying that.
That's where you're wrong. I am looking at a picture, though in truth, I can't see his teeth. Oh, nope. There they are. So Neil Stanley was featured on Inside the Factory. That's a UK like documentary series or whatever. So here's what he did. He's a sleep doctor, and he was able to prove concretely that taking a 20-minute nap increases your reaction time. So let's say you're really drug out and tired and your thoughts are like, you know what, if I take a nap, it'll get even worse. Mm-hmm. That he was able to show that, no, you will actually, even though you may feel groggy or whatever, your reaction time will be better after a 20-minute nap. And so he performs this experiment where he has people take these naps, and then he has, have you guys ever played Kung Fu Panda Arcade? He has a...
Is that the game?
Yeah! It's what it looks like to me. It's not what it is. But he basically has a big wall of lights, and you have to touch the light where it lights up.
What was the game when you were a kid?
Simon.
That one.
It looks like another worthless piece of information.
It looks like a big version of that.
So he had people do that. Then he had them take a nap and then do it again. Mm. And he found that reaction times were way faster
when they had a nap
after the nap than they were before the nap.
So I guess my problem is with the naps during the day, as tempting as they are, is I try to look at the big week of like sleep of a big picture, and I don't know if it ends up helping out, because then later at night am I going to have less sleep? Am I going to have more trouble falling asleep if I took a 20-minute nap? So is it worth me losing more sleep during my sleep time when I get a deeper sleep, or being more alert and responsive that afternoon from a nap?
I have gotten to the point where I'm napping not every day, but almost every day.
Almost every day?
Yeah. Now, I had a period of time there, which I think there may have been some health concerns, but I was taking like 2 and 3 hour naps in the afternoon.
Like he's almost clocking in the hours that we'd sleep at night.
Right. And so that was obviously not good.
Yeah.
So what I have started doing is I set an alarm and I lay down and I give myself somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. And when the alarm goes off, I don't want to get up, but I make myself get up. And I have found that it's almost like eating. If you just give me complete freedom, I'll eat like a hog. I'll just eat whatever, whenever, eat. But that's not good for me. And it seems like sleep has been the same way. Like,
sure.
Yeah, sure. You could sleep for 2 hours, but that's not good for you. But if you would force yourself to get like a 25-minute nap, you'll feel better. And so that's what I've been doing. And the thing I have noticed, like it has
made a difference.
Yeah, it makes me, because what I'll end up doing is Nikki and I get up really early. And so I'll take a quick nap. And a lot of times that nap will be followed by a quick bout of exercise. And then I'll get some coffee. So I'm really rejuvenating. And then I'll sit down and I finish my workday.
And then you finish?
Yeah.
So they say that an afternoon nap, though, boosts you about 3 to 4 hours. Whereas if you look for your afternoon boost from a cup of coffee or tea, that boost only lasts around 30 minutes. So the difference is maybe worth taking a nap for.
So, Nikki, what kind of boost do you want? You want to go short-term or long-term?
Man, I'll tell you, a nap does sound wonderful, doesn't it? We could all just fall over right now.
Come on.
But every time I try to sleep, even in the afternoon, that's when my body's like, no, let's watch something.
No, dude. Like I hit a point in the afternoon every single day where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Whenever I want and desperately feel like I need to take a nap, that's when I get this sudden burst of energy on my own that keeps me from sleeping.
You know what that is? You're suffering from adrenal fatigue.
Is it?
And so that's your body that is just like, we can't sleep. And so it literally is hammering you to keep you awake. So what you have to do there, Nikki, here's what I do. I lay down and I focus on belly breathing. You know what belly breathing is?
Yeah, I remember
It's what babies do. You breathe in real big in your stomach and push out.
Well,
you'll be asleep in no time.
Didn't they always say that's the trick? Like if you're military and you have to sleep when you are in intense situations or you just need to go to sleep like right away, that's how you're supposed to breathe. That's the technique.
Well, I'm just telling you, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, Nikki, today, I want you to set a 25-minute alarm.
Ooh, 25 minutes?
Lay down, do some belly breathing.
I'll be out before I know it.
And all of a sudden you'll be like, is that the alarm going off?
I slept.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, how much are you willing to spend to prove your loyalty?
To prove my loyalty?
To prove your fandom.
Well, I'll just...
What will you spend?
I think you probably should ask Apple
More.
That.
That's a good point, Nikki.
That seems to be the brand that I'll spend the most on, I think, would be that.
Okay, we've talked here before about collector's items, and that's not really our thing. I like to buy things that are labeled a collector's item, but are worthless and depreciate as soon as you open them. That's where I like to put my money.
That's normally where most people are at.
Yeah, but there are some things that are legitimate collector's items. You guys know I love film in general, and listen to how snooty and pretentious that was. I didn't tell you I like movies. I love film. Who is this guy?
I don't even know you anymore.
So there is a place in the UK called the Prop Store.
Yeah.
And they handle movie props and some big, expensive auctions, right? So they've got an auction coming up in which some high-ticket items are going to be sold. For example, you ever see that movie Gladiator?
Yeah, with
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
You like to watch Gladiator movies, Nikki?
Not so much, but I've seen Gladiator.
Okay. They say his Roman general armor from the beginning of the film, they say it'll fetch somewhere between $36,000 to $60,000.
Real dollars or movie dollars?
No, real dollars. Monopoly money.
Monopoly money.
So it's time to raid your Monopoly sets at home. And
we're told you have to sometimes invest some money into something and you want it to obviously make money. I'm just afraid if I put money in movie props, like, I'm not going to get anything back if I try to sell it again.
I feel like that would be just like a tough call.
It would be.
So other items, this amazes me. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch is up for sale.
What is that? What is that?
Nikki, it's one of the sacred relics that Brother Maynard carries with him. Brother Maynard!
What movie is that?
Jesu Domine. It's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. It's a prop from that.
Yes. The Book of Armaments, chapter 1, verses 9
He's going
to
to keep
21.
quoting it all.
Holy crap. So
Now, this one's interesting, though. The axe swung by Jack Nicholson in The Shining. That is something that's supposed to be, it's estimated at $48,000 to $73,000. And I think that's part of the auction.
Of all the things that people have talked about, I'll have to say that truly feels like an iconic item.
Well, do you know also why? Like, for me, what was the movie that came out last year where they had the Shining sort of
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. And then the Facetune from The Shining.
Yes, they had Jim Carrey as the guy from The Shining.
Yeah, that's the only reason why when I looked at the whole list, I was like, oh, yeah, The Shining. Okay, that could be interesting.
It makes, like, that's a lot. But okay, back to the Holy Hand Grenade. They think that could fetch as much as $120,000.
Well, this is in the UK.
Yeah. Well, okay, other items up for bid. Mel Gibson's sword from Braveheart. They're saying around $60,000. Samuel Jackson's lightsaber from Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. That one is a higher ticket item, $60,000 to $120,000. Michael Keaton, a full Batman suit from the 90s Batman movie, up to $145,000, they think. Pierce Brosnan's PPK pistol and silencer from GoldenEye, around $73,000.
Could be it. But everything, though, is only what someone's willing to pay for it.
Okay, here's what I'd like to know. Mm-hmm. In my basement right now, there's a Gladiator Blu-ray. Now.
It would need to be packaged with his suit of armor.
What do you think that Gladiator Blu-ray is worth right now?
Is it streaming anywhere?
Do you think I could get $5 out of it?
Probably $3. $3 to $5.
Only $3?
$3 to $5 is what I would say.
All right. Okay. You cheapskate.
It's not your fault. It's really the one guy's fault.
Russell Crowe?
Like, there's nothing else keeping that movie being interesting. He was in the news.
He was in The Nice Guys 2 years ago.
He was. That's not gonna help you sell that Blu-ray.
And I mean, that movie was written and directed by the guy that wrote and directed Iron Man 3. See, it all ties back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You care more about this movie, I think, than most.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh boy, Nikki. I don't think I've ever said this to you. We've been friends for a long time.
So is this what we're going to say now? So what is it?
I think this is the first time that I've said it, but I mean it when I say it.
Yeah.
I think we should go to Outback Steakhouse.
Did you see what this thing is? I've never had a bloomin' onion.
Well, me either, because onions are so disgusting.
But the outside of it always looks so amazing.
It always does.
And this food blog that we look at every so often has like a bloomin' onion article about it. Mm-hmm. And it always looks so tempting, delicious, but I never had it. But this looks better to me.
Oh, it looks good.
So if you've ever been to Outback, their bloomin' onion is
it looks good.
Their appetizer. And so now they're offering a bloomin' chicken.
Oh, it looks so delicious.
So basically, it's a chicken breast, like grilled and then battered and deep fried in the bloomin' onion coating.
Batter, like what they normally put on it, yeah.
And then they put the sauce on it, and then you can eat the chicken like that.
Oh.
Do we even have Outbacks here?
I have no idea.
I don't even know what the closest one would be.
I can't think of where there is an Outback Steakhouse. You have to do your dirty work, Nikki. Tell me what you can find.
I will look. We have the one where like you can put the peanuts on the floor, and then like a couple others, but some of them closed down. So I can look and see.
Okay. I don't even know. Have you ever eaten at an Outback?
I think we have.
I mean, I must have because I know what a bloomin' onion is.
Yeah.
So at some point in my life, I have to have been at one. But other than that.
What's the one we used to eat at in Nashville every so often?
That was like a River City Grill. That was local.
You think so? That wasn't
It wasn't a chain.
I thought it felt like a chain.
Well, it did. It did.
Well, it could be something if you have one in your area and you like that. Now they're doing it with chicken.
Hang on.
Are you yawning? What are you doing?
Don't be mad at me.
You can't be bored at your own story. There's one near you.
Okay, listen. I'm not bored at it. Do you know what I've done? I've imagined my stomach full of bloomin' chicken.
And you're already asleep.
And I'm already asleep. And I'll tell you what, instead of the bloomin' sauce, I don't want that. I want them to drizzle it in honey mustard.
Just all over it. Bring your own, some of that Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard sauce. You can bring it in your bag. They're not going to say anything.
I mean, they're going to say things about you behind your back.
But not, to your face.
They'll say things about you out back, but not to your face.
Yeah, there's one near you.
Okay.
You could totally go to that one.
So what are you guys doing later? Like you and Eric have plans or dinner for 3?
Let's go to the Outback.
Why not?
We never said that before, but it does look good.
I'll see what my dad's doing. Maybe we could, all go out together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We did for Valentine's Day.
We did. We could always do that this Valentine's Day or a holiday.
We could just go today, though.
We could. I don't want it to be new. I don't want to go. You need to give it like a week or so for the restaurant to be okay with preparing it to make sure they got it down.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you go, if there's a new item they'll look at you, they'll be like, what are you talking about? We don't know about it yet. Or worse, they don't know how to make it yet, but they have to try. And then you don't get a good taste with it.
Now, I appreciate what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. But there's something else I need you to explore.
What's that?
Are you ready?
What is it?
Okay. And that is that sometimes they get used to making it and then they don't do a good job anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. So we've got to find
that sweet spot in the
That's
middle.
Right. And we need to act like we're from corporate somehow. I don't know what you do.
We need to go in with Outback suits on.
What's that look like?
I don't know.
Mick Dundee from Australia?
No, it's not even that. Just like, and then you just need to constantly say bloomin'. Like, that's the phrase. Like, I think he's from corporate. I'll say that when I walk in.
The only other thing I know is what is it? Australian for beer. What's the commercial? Like, that's all I got.
What is the beer?
I
Even though
don't even
I
know.
watched a thing where they're like, they totally don't drink that beer.
Nobody does.
I don't remember.
You know what? Forget it. I want bloomin' chicken, and I want you to put honey mustard on it. Bring it to me right now.
Okay, let's place the order.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
Just a little heads up. The East Coast is having a little problem.
What's going on?
Well, up in the Massachusetts area and whatnots and so ons.
Yeah.
And so forths.
Those places?
Yeah, they say that they're having a big rush of great white sharks again.
Well, they've said that we've seen some video evidence of that this summer. Some of that's gone viral.
They say they're starting to feel echoes of the infamous summer of 16.
But they've probably always been there. It's just you're just noticing it
noticing
more.
them?
Yeah, you're just hearing it more in the news, and then that leads to noticing them in the area when they surface or whatever they do.
I don't like the ocean. I like to look at it. I like to sit on the shore. But
Are you fine on a boat in the ocean, though? Or you don't even want to go in it or on it?
I mean, I guess. The thing is, like, I'm a good swimmer, which in the ocean counts for a little, but not a ton, because the ocean can just be like, nah, you're not that good. I gotcha. But all of that being said,
Sure.
Where were we? I just had an image of me getting eaten by a shark, and it's derailed me completely.
There's been more than 300 sightings of great white sharks and has caused the closure of 60 beaches.
60 beaches.
60 beaches, not like constantly, but during this summer. And so people are just a little nervous in the area.
Hey, here's an interesting thing. Did you know that in 1916, on July 1st, Charles Van Sant became the first known shark attack victim in New Jersey?
It's been years, but the summer of 16, the shark attack stuff, I read a book about that. And it was fascinating. Yeah.
So are we talking like 2016? Or
Yeah.
is it 1916?
I think it's the 1916 one because it was about way back in the day, and it talked about beaches and sharks would come in to where they thought they were safe areas, but they were swimming up, and it was fascinating.
I want to read that book.
In a terrible way.
No, it is fascinating because I'm reading in the article here, this guy died, right? And they didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
He dies of a shark attack. They tell no one. Four other people.
A lot of areas they just didn't know what was going on.
They say 4 other people died, and they were, according to this, if you can believe it, they were covering it up, and they said that that's actually where the idea for Jaws came from, was the idea of these people, a shark attack happens, and it kills their local economy because they need people to vacation there.
Mm-hmm, so they don't want to say anything about it.
Fascinating.
So you had some people that didn't know, like they didn't know to not go to those spots.
Right.
Because no one was speaking up and saying, hey, there might be something here that could kill you.
Might eat you.
Yeah, and so people were still swimming in those areas.
All right. Well, do you remember what the name of the book was?
Oh, it's been years. We're talking Young Nikki. I will have to try to search on that.
Jeff says, I read that book. Jeff, you're texting in right now, buddy.
No.
Why don't you go ahead and text it to me?
It was once about them going into the rivers, and kids would just be playing in the rivers, and that'd be it. They'd be gone.
Okay. Well, I just want to let you know.
Between me and Jeff, we'll figure it out.
You guys are going to work together.
We'll figure it out for you, and we'll help you out.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Nikki wants to sit alone in the corner eating crab legs.